So on this first one, it doesn't say practice, it just says simplify, or factor. It says simplify, right? These are the factor terms. I want you guys to like multiply them out. Some of you like to use the rectangles better to do this, so I'll show you both methods. You put the 6x here, negative 2 here, 6x here, and positive 2 here. So 6x times 6x is 36x squared. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. And 6 times 2 is 12x. And 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And you can combine the ones that have just the plain x's together. So I can combine those ones and those ones. In this case, it's nice because one's negative, one's positive, so they cancel out, and I'm left with 36x squared minus 4. So remember what we were talking about in factoring going backwards? Those are both squared numbers. It came from one of them being negative and one of them being positive. If I were to do it the other way, this is the way I do it most of the time. I go 6x times 6x is 36x squared. 6 times 2 is 12x. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12x. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And then I see those go away and I get the answer down below. So I don't care which way you do it, you get credit either way. So the next one says j minus k squared, which means that we have two of these j minus k's. That's what the squared means, is that there's two of them. And so, no, they're both the same. So they'll both be, so there's two of the same kind. Yeah. So now we're going to multiply. So j times j. J times negative k. Negative jk. And then I go the k times the j is negative jk again. If you wanted to use the rectangle, I'll show you how. And negative k times negative k is k squared. So you can combine these like terms in the middle. There's there's negative 1 jk and another negative 1 jk, which means there are negative 2 jk's. If you want to do it the other way, you put the j in negative k, the j in negative k. So this corner, j times j is j squared. J times negative k is negative jk. J times negative k, negative jk. Negative k times negative k is positive k squared. And then you can combine these ones in the middle, kind of like we did there, and you get the negative 2 jk. So with the cubed, it means there's three of them, so we have to write it out 3 times. And our order of operations say we do what? We multiply left to right. So we have to multiply these first two before we can multiply the third one. So the order of operations, we have to multiply the first two, get that answer, and then multiply the third one. So 5x times 5x is 25x squared. 5x times negative 2 is negative 10x. Negative 2 times 5x is another negative 10x. And negative 2 times negative 2 is plus 4. So now combine the middle two terms. That's going to make negative 20x. And then we have the 25x squared and the plus 4. So that's multiplying the first two together. So all that we've multiplied together are those first two. So we've just multiplied those two together. So that's that answer. Now we've got to multiply the third piece in. So the 5x minus 2 has to get multiplied in. So this 25x squared is going to go to both of those. So 25x squared times 5x is 125x cubed. And you can use a calculator to do your multiplication. 25 times negative 2, 2 quarters makes 50 cents, right? So negative 50x squared. Now negative 20x times 5, negative 20 times 5, negative 2 times 5 is 10, so minus 100x squared. And then negative 20 times negative 2 A negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 2 is 4, so that's going to be 40x. And now for the last one, 4 times 5 is 20. And 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So I can combine like terms. There's 50. Well, that didn't work. So there's 50 and negative 50 and negative 100 make, so negative 150x squared, positive 40 and positive 20x make 60x, and the negative 8 and 125x cubed are still there. And that's your answer for that. So it's a lot of work. So if you like the box method, go ahead and use the box method on that. So now the next questions. Let's do question 4. So this is where we're going backwards now. So if we've been using the box, now you're given the inside pieces and you have to go back to get the outside pieces. So we're saying what multiplies to be 28 and adds to be negative 16. And remember, you can go to your calculator and you can go to, so 28 times 1 is 28. But you go to y equals and you go 28 divided by x. And then to get to the table, since it's in blue, you hit the second, because anything in blue you hit the second to get to. So second table, and this tells me all the things that multiply to be 28. So negative 2 and negative 14, that makes negative 16, right? Or positive 2 and positive 4 make positive 16. So I just need to look in the middle. It was a negative 16, so it needs to be a negative 2 and a negative 14. So now we're going backwards. We're saying what times what gave us x squared? Well, that was x times x. What times x gives us negative 2x? Negative 2. And what times x gave us negative 14? So my answer is x minus 2 times x minus 14. So 5, 6, and 7 are on the other videos. If you want to check your work, you can come back and here's the answers for them. Okay? So if you want to check your work later, you can come back. That's supposed to be a squared. And you can check your answer to see if we did this or see if you did it right. But in the other videos kind of explains how you do that. So that would be the answers. You can check that video later. Let's do one last problem. Let's do number 10 and call it good. Hopefully we have enough time before the bell rings. So 10x squared and 16. So those go in the top left and bottom right. And then you multiply those to be 160x squared. So we need to find out what multiplies to be 160 and adds to be 26. So again, I go to my calculator. I go to y equals. I type 160 in divided by x and hit second graph. And that's going to bring up the table. And I'm looking for numbers that add up to be 26. So like 4 and 40 make 44, 5 and 32 is 37, 8 and 20 is 28, 10 and 16 make 26. So those are my numbers that I need. So I put 10x and 16x. So what's the top row divisible by? 5, or even bigger, I could put a 10. If you did 5s, it would work out okay. So 10x and 1x, that would be 1, and that would be 16. So if you had used 5s, that's okay. If you used 5s, it would be 5x here and 2x here. And that would be a 2, and this would be 8. So you'd have 2x plus 2 and 5x plus 8, which would also work. So mad. So this one, there's a 2 terms squared. So the square root of 4 is 2. So 2x cubed times 2x cubed makes 4x to the sixth. 25, the square root of 25 is minus 5 and plus 5. Then y squared and y squared. And that's your answer. Down here we used the box. Put in the numbers 2x squared and 3. Multiply those, that's 6x squared. So what multiplies to be 6 now adds to be negative 7. That's negative 6 and negative 1. So the top row is divisible by 2, so I put a 2x out here and an x here. 2 times negative 3 makes negative 6. X times negative 1 makes negative 1x. So my answer is x minus 3 and 2x minus 1.